Do you believe in ghosts? Yes, I do.
Only if I'm home alone and I hear a noise.
I really, 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 really want to believe in ghosts.
I do believe in ghosts.
Yeah, I believe in ghosts, not the typical like.
I don't think so.
But I felt like I've been in the presence.
No, I think I prefer to keep it that way because I think seeing a ghost would be terrifying.
Fuck that shit. No.
No, I don't think I ever have.
No, because I don't believe in messing with bad juju.
We did Spirit in the Glass. So it's the same concept as a Ouija board, but it's like a glass cup and you put a coin in there.
I got a Ouija board when I was, I think, maybe 11 or 12. I remember being in a dark room with my sister and all my cousins. We were asking it questions, and I definitely wasn't one moving the little thing. I don't know. It wasn't me that was moving it, but I remember realizing that either this ghost is not that smart or it's fake. Because we asked it a question about, is there someone that likes Bernie? And then whoever was moving it apparently did not know how to spell my crush's name. So I'm pretty sure it was one of my cousins that was joking around with us.
Yes, I have.
I have seen a card reader and I've seen a tea leaf reader, and they were all kind of full of shit.
I'm not quite sold on psychics.
You should know how your life is gonna end up.
Yes, ish.
There are superstitions that I have that are absolutely ridiculous, and I will admit that they are, while I'm watching my favorite sports team. If they're doing terribly, I will move to a different position, take my hat off, put my hat on, change shirts.
I can definitely be superstitious. There are some things that I won't do.
I am superstitious. It was a ghost.
Do you believe in horoscopes? Nah, not really.
When I meet someone and they tell me their star sign, yeah, I'll be like, oh, that explains that.
I don't read a horoscope every day, but sometimes I do, or a fortune cookie, and sometimes it is true.
I don't know if the YouTube video nukes top 5 counts, but I like that. Supernatural, that one's pretty good.
Poltergeist.
There used to be a show called Creepy Canada. Otherwise, maybe like Mystery Hunters. Yeah, like on YTV.
The Blair Witch Project, like the first one, I thought it was real found footage. But I think the last one I went to go see in the theater is my favorite, Paranormal Activity.
I firmly believe that there is.
I think it would be naive to think that we are the only living beings out there.
Yes, I do.
I believe that there is intelligent life somewhere in this big-ass universe.
One time I was at work and I was working in the far back corner. Somebody said, like, are you coming? And I said, yeah, I'll be there in a minute. And when I finally went over to where the other 2 girls were working, they hadn't called me. Nobody had called me.
So we went to Jefferson Tree where they did hangings, supposedly. We were just like looking at the tree, going around it, kind of analyzing everything. And we were there for about 20 minutes. And then one of them started getting spooked out. So we leave. And keep in mind, I wasn't looking at my phone. So we're driving, and then I pull out my phone. I had this feeling to like look at my photos for some reason. I don't know why, but I was just like compelled to look at my photos. I look at my most recent photo, and it's taken about the time we were at the Jefferson Tree. And I was freaked out because I was like, I didn't take this photo. Why is this here? I see that it's just like blackness, and it is the outside. Like, it's the tree. But then there's a white orb in the photo. And from all the paranormal shows that I've watched, all of them explain that an orb is a spirit or a ghost. Immediately was freaked out, and then I deleted the photo. because I was like, well, I don't need this.
I remember, when me and my sister were kids, we used to fall asleep watching TV, and we had a sofa bed growing up. I remember waking up in the middle of the night and seeing this figure at the foot of the bed where my sister was sleeping, and then I remember like grabbing the blankets that surrounded my sister and just yanked her closer to me, but she didn't wake up. And then next thing you know, I woke up the next morning, and she was definitely a lot closer to me. I don't know, I might have been just asleep or half asleep, who knows. And I had kind of lost touch with one of my closest friends from, someone that I was really, really close friends. He was my best friend in elementary and junior high and even going into high school. And in high school we kind of went our separate ways a little bit, just because we were different. He's an introvert, I'm an extrovert. But him and I, we kept in touch. We always made sure that we called each other on our birthdays, even after, we would go, 6, 7, 8 months, even a year before speaking to each other, and we would always make sure that we would call each other on our birthdays, and that continues. That continues to today. But I remember one particular year, I was working, and at that point, definitely I probably hadn't heard from him in quite some time. I want to say close to a year. I may, and may just been one of those where I missed his birthday, and just left him a message, and he hadn't called me back yet. But it was definitely a long time. Anyways, I was working at a call center, and in the middle of the day, I got this after a call. I got this overwhelming sensation, like this feeling that it felt like someone was telling me to call him. And I just thought, I haven't spoken to him in quite some time. I'll call him later. And then after thinking that, I said, no, I need to call him now. I had no reason to call him right away. I just had this feeling right then and there that I needed to call him. So I called. I didn't. This was time before everyone had cell phones, so I remember calling him on his house phone because I didn't know if he had a cell phone yet. But I called his house phone, and no one answered. But there was an answering machine, so I left a message. I said, "Hey, it's Bernie. I know I haven't spoken to you. Give me a call." And I got a call from him a day or so later. I think it was sooner. I'm pretty sure it was just a day later. I got a call, and he sounded really distraught, and I asked him what was up, and he told me that his mother had passed away the day before. Growing up, he didn't have very many friends. He had some good close friends, but he definitely wasn't running with a popular crowd, and he was always really really focused on school and everything. I couldn't help but think, in fact, I really do believe that when his mom passed, she was looking out for him, because he's the type to not really look for help. So I really feel that his mother, when she passed, came by and visited me and asked me to call him and check in on him.
So there was a point where I was just like watching horror videos, just like scary YouTube clips, before I went to sleep. And so like I had these in the back of my mind, and like when I'm too tired of it, I just like shut down, I sleep. So there was a time where I was just consistently waking up at 2:59, and just as it was 2:59, it turned to 3. And this would happen like for 5 nights, like consistently. I was waking up at that time. And when that would happen, I was like always weirded out, because I was like, well, why do I keep waking up at this time? This is so weird. And like, why is it me always just catching it at 3? So there's a point when that kept happening, and I just like immediately was like so shocked, but then at the same time so tired, that I would just like quickly close my eyes after. And as soon as I would close my eyes, I would feel like a dark presence, or maybe not a dark presence, but just a presence. And I wasn't familiar with it. Obviously, I'm just like, I don't want to open my eyes, because I just feel something's there watching me in the dark, waking up at 3. So I just like close my eyes, and I just like wish that it isn't there anymore. I just pretend that there's nothing there, even though deep in my heart I feel like there could be something there, but I just block it out and I just pretend. So that was happening for a little bit, but then that stopped. And yeah, I don't know, like sometimes I'll like watch a video before I go to sleep, but like not as often as I used to. Maybe because of that experience. So yeah, that was really odd.
If I get to, maybe I'll tell you another story. This happened, sometime late last year. A really good friend of mine passed away after a very short battle with cancer. And, it was a really tough summer to get through. This was months and months and months later. I sing in an a cappella group, called Those Guys, and we were in the studio putting up the finishing touches on our album. And it was the end of the session. It was at night. We were just packing up and getting ready to go, and we were just kind of in the kind of lobby area of the studio. And I remember a few of the guys were scattered throughout the room, and I was in one particular part of the room, right by the one of the doors that leads outside. And I remember I was tossing some trash out, and a gust of wind like blew by me, and someone said, "I'll see you later, man." And then as I am throwing things out, I say, "Yeah, man, I'll see you later." And then I looked, and there was no one there. I thought about it. In that very quick moment, I went, "Matt?" And I remember looking around, and my buddy Wes, who sings with me, he saw me have that interaction with whoever walked by, and he kind of looked at me. He's just like, I remember him saying, "What was that?" It was too real for it to be my imagination. It was really nice. It really felt like he paid us a visit. He said, "I'll see you later," and he was off to go visit someone else, and another example of why I feel comfort when I have these experiences.